dear learners, welcome back again in our today's session. As you can see that the topic is target groups, diverse learners, including learners with disabilities. So first, let's understand the meaning of disabilities. Basically, the learners with disabilities are the students who have a physical, emotional, or cognitive challenges that affect their learning. They may need extra support, extra attention, or accommodation to succeed in school. And so learners with disabilities are basically are the students who have a physical, mental, or learning challenges. Let's take a few examples. Suppose that a student who uses a wheelchair may need a ramp or elevator to access the classroom. If you talk about the other examples, so the students with the dyslexia may need extra time to complete the reading assignments or use a text-to-speech tool. So these students have the same desire to learn and succeed as their peers, but may need additional support to overcome their unique challenges. Okay. So let's talk about the types of learners with disabilities. Here, as you can see that in the picture, there are different type of learners who have disabilities. The first one is auditory processing disorder. It's known as APD. Second is language processing disorder. The third one is dysgraphia. The next one is dyscalculia. The next one is dyslexia. The next one is dyspraxia. And the last one is ADHD. So first we will discuss about the dyscalculia. As you can see the background of the image, it is a mathematical terms you can see. So basically the dyslexia is a specific learning difficulty that affects an individual's ability to understand and perform the mathematical task. It is often referred to as math dyslexia. Due to this parallel in how it impacts learning, so first, here are key points about the dyslexia. So basically, dyslexia is a learning disability that affects an individual's ability to understand and perform the mathematical task. This condition can manifest in various ways, such as a difficulty with basic arithmetic, understanding number, concept, and perform the calculation. Let's take an example. For example, a child with a dyscalculia who suffers from the dyscalculia might struggle to grasp the number is 5 is the same quantity as the 5 apples. And the second, and they may find it challenging to learn and recall the basic maths. So first, if we talk about the characteristics of dyscalculia, here I have mentioned a few characteristics of dyscalculia. The first one is difficulty with number sense. A student who is suffering from dyscalculia will feel the difficulty with number sense, struggling to grasp the concept of numbers and their relationship. The second one is problems with mathematical symbols. The students feel difficulty in understanding the symbols like plus, minus, into, divide, percentage and their meaning. The third one is challenges with basic arithmetics. The students face the trouble performing the basic operations, basic concept about the math such as addition, subtractions, multiplication and division. The third one is difficulty with time measurement. The students feel problems, troubles to understand the concept related to time, clock, calendar, and the measurement, length, weight, volume. And the last one is memory issue. They will feel the difficulty recalling the mathematical facts, formulas, or sequences. Let's discuss about the sign and symptoms of dyscalculia. So the first one is, as you can see that, struggling to count backwards. The second one is difficulty remembering basic maths. Third one is difficulty in estimating quantities like how many items are in group, etc. The next one is avoidance of activities that require understanding the maths. The next one is problems with maths, word problem and understanding the logic behind them. And the last one is trouble understanding the place value. The next, now we are going to discuss about the diagnosis and assessment, how you will find out that a child is suffering from dyscalculia. How do you diagnose the problem and assess the problem? So the first, as you can see, that screening tool. That means various standardized tests are available in the market and diagnostic tools are used to assess the mathematical skills and identifying the dyscalculia problem in the students. Second one is observation. Teachers and parents may notice consistent struggles with the maths tasks compared to the peer groups. Now we are going to discuss about the strategies and intervention. Here we have mentioned a few strategies and intervention. So the first one is individualized educational plan. That means tailored educational strategies to meet the unique needs of the students. The second one is multisensory instructions. Always use visual, auditory and kinesthetic tactile techniques to teach the maths concepts. Third one is repetition and practice, as the phrase, the practice makes a man perfect. So you can see that the frequent practice and review to help the reinforce the maths skill. The next one is technology aid. Utilize of software and applications designed to support math learning. The next one is real life application. Means teach the math through the real life situation to make the concept more understandable, more relatable. Extra time. Provide the additional and extra time for math tasks and tests to reduce the pressure and anxiety. So understanding and addressing that dyscalculia is very important for helping individuals develop the necessary math skills and the confidence in their abilities. With the right support and intervention, those with dyscalculia can improve their mathematical concept, understanding and performance. Thank you.